Alrighty, let's get into it. Welcome to the Lost in Talks podcast episode.
You're not sounding energetic.
No, I'm here. Trust me.
No, you're like
Trust
Lost
me.
in Talks.
I'm here. Episode 11 today. The most lit podcast in the arts community.
Oh shit.
Because y'all are shit. No, I'm joking. Yeah, we're gonna do the arts community today, or I was gonna say the community, but that's kind of
We
whack
usually do
right now.
locations, but
Yeah, we're just switching it up today. Again, today's our most lit podcast to date. Episode 11, since we missed 10 last week because I didn't know that last week was episode 10.
We're gonna say that's episode 9.5, and this is episode 10. 11.
10, 11.
Yeah.
So this is 11?
This is the 11th episode.
This is the 11th
That's
episode.
great.
We were supposed to make 10 like a good episode, a special episode, and we fucking didn't even realize it was 10. Now we're like, okay, well this is
Yeah,
gonna be
Makes
exactly.
now
10.
it's super special. That's like
Exactly.
the most special.
It's
it could
super
be.
special.
Yeah.
We have a few people in the basement.
We do.
That we're going to be talking to and going over some ideas with today. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to go over. I'm excited. No Lost Craft today because I don't
No, I
know
got
what the
one.
fuck. Nah. That was in the back.
Should we restart?
No. No.
I got
Lost
one,
Craft is
one.
disappointing me at the moment, and I'm not going to hold it back.
Shit.
Quick, switch them.
I'm
I'm drinking neutral.
It's LCBO's fault, not their fault.
No, turn
Hey,
it. Turn it.
but
Leave it
you
at
gotta
the
have-
front.
you
Leave
gotta
it at the
figure
front,
out how
but
you're gonna
turn
get
it so
more
you can
beers.
only see
Yeah,
the
that's
label
facts.
at the
Into your
back,
spot,
like
like-
the nutrition label,
like
just
this?
so you can't barely. Yeah,
There.
that's
It
even
blends
worse.
in with neutral.
That's even
good.
worse.
Yeah.
drinking
What the hell are you drinking?
a Grolsch.
That is massive.
A Grolsch.
We're sipping on some Grolsch.
Never had Grolsch.
1.5 liters. We're trying to get it today. You know what I mean? We're just in here. We're out here in the streets, man. We're just
Oh, yeah.
trying to
Official
get it.
beer of Tiff.
Oh, true.
Is it?
Grolsch
Shout out
is?
Tiff, you know?
Shout out Tiff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out Tiff.
Is it like a wow? It's fancy.
Okay, and you guys are also probably wondering who the fuck this is. So feel free to introduce yourself. We don't do introductions here. You do.
Oh shit.
That way, it's almost like an interview. Like you gotta,
Okay, you want me to do that right now?
like, who are you? Tell us why you're here.
I feel like I'm
Why-
in church for the first time.
Why Toys R Us?
Why Toys R Us? I don't know, man. Never went to Toys R Us.
Really?
But yeah, I never went there as a kid.
Damn.
Damn.
But
That's rough.
I'm kind. Is that rough? I
From
don't know if that's
childhood,
rough.
you,
I don't know if
you
it's
never
rough.
you never went into
That's
Toys
not
R
a
Us.
childhood. It's
Come on, every
smart.
child goes into Toys R Us.
I was
looking
never
through
in
the
Toys R
aisles
Us
and, like,
that
shit.
much.
Even
No,
though
man, I was like outside running around, like
He was outside,
building
man.
forts and
It's
like.
kind of like you go there and like, you know you're not getting anything anyway.
that's
like,
what I'm
your
saying.
parents aren't buying
like, you
you
go
shit.
in there and you're like,
Yeah.
I want
Every
this
time
and
I
this,
walk,
but your
every
parents are
time I
like,
walked
no,
in
you're
there,
not
I'm
getting
like,
that.
I hope something's on sale. I know nothing's not
Yeah.
gonna be on sale, so
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything.
It's all just
Yeah.
plastic.
Yeah.
I used to go for the Lego.
crazy.
I want to see the Lego.
But yeah, I go by Niina Rosa, and that would be my introduction, I suppose. I'm from here. Like I grew up kind of in the country, like in the rural area of Ontario. But my dad did some work in the city, so I was kind of like in and out. So, and then I've been around. Like I kind of lived around some different places. Lived in Tobago for 2 years when I was younger.
Say a word.
In Speyside, if anybody knows Speyside.
Mm-hmm.
But I lived there, and then I did some different traveling, like a couple exchanges here and there. And now I've been in Toronto for like fucking 9 years ish now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sick, man.
So that's it at this point. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that about you. That you know have been all over the place.
So,
kind
yeah.
of. If you-
Yeah.
You lived in a few different places. Nice.
Yeah.
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 What's that like?
It definitely. I mean, the Tobago thing specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, just moving around in general, because like I moved around a lot as a kid too. Like I grew up on a farm, and then I kind of like lived in a couple different smaller towns. Let me get this beer.
Yeah, it's
Wet
way,
my,
it's way lower down there.
Palette.
Got it.
Oops. All right. I'm just gonna hold on to it. But yeah, man, it's interesting moving around a lot. I think it's good for the artistic inspiration.
Yeah, for sure. Tommy's moved around a bit too in his past and stuff like that too. So it's good. I
word.
swear, the more people I run into it, the more people I find out that have actually moved around.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm just meeting people that are just
Yeah.
from here.
Yeah.
you know
A
what
part
I
of
mean?
me wishes I actually lived in other areas too. I think Yeah, you just grow. No, you wouldn't
Yeah,
recommend
no,
it.
you do, man. Like living in Tobago changed my life, and like I was mad young when I lived there.
You probably
And,
don't
like,
fuck with it when you're younger.
I did. Like I did. Like I had a great time living there, even though it was very, very difficult for me. Like we were living in Speyside, like, you know, just in the town. My mom was teaching at the school, and you know, so I was just there. I was just a kid there, and like you learn a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you learn a lot in 2 years. Living in that community for 2 years and just really being a part of it, like, you know, that shaped me as a person for sure, and has given me a pretty crazy perspective that like not a lot of people get that young. You know, and the people who do often, I find, do have a wider perspective on things.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, because again, you've been seeing so many different. Whether you've only gone to a couple places or not, you know what I mean? You get to see a different side of.
Yeah, anytime in
world,
life you
culture.
can see a different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you take that in, and then you can think about it as you're going through your life, kind of, and you have more things to kind of reference, I guess, in different situations. Or whatever.
Do you? Did you even say you make music? Did you say that? Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't remember.
I think so.
You might make
No,
music.
you didn't. Yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
what the fuck do you do?
Yeah, I make music. That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
For the past, like, moving in on 2 years ish now.
Yeah.
But like, music's always been a part of my life. But just over the past couple years, I've kind of been like rediscovering myself and like just kind of being more honest with myself about like what I really want to do and like what I think like I should be doing and like spending my time on.
Yeah.
how did you get into music? Like, when did you start? Very young, or?
Yeah, I started super young. I played piano when I was like 9 years old, and I did like recitals and all that shit, like classical music and stuff.
Right.
And my mom is like a super artist too. She's like an opera singer and a piano player.
Okay,
and-
so you grew up around that kind of creative,
Yeah.
just creative
Yeah.
people in your family, and
But I quit music super young. Like I played piano, and I think when I was a kid, I was like really concerned with a lot of my growing up was like, you know, you're just like always want to be cool. I was really concerned about that shit. I
Right.
think, you know, in retrospect. And so I quit piano, and because I wanted to play guitar, and then I wanted to play bass, and then I learned, I did drums for a bit, and then like.
Okay.
So I kind of just like did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, all different things, and then I just kind of quit music altogether. I think I just didn't do it. Like when I was in high school, and when I got to high school, I just stopped doing music.
do you know why? or
I don't know
just-
why,
just
man.
kinda-
I don't know why. Just kind of like looking back, I'm like, it's crazy that I didn't, but I went down the film path.
Okay.
At that point, I kind of film and photography. I don't know. I think maybe I thought I couldn't do music, and so I just convinced myself I should just do
True.
film.
True. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you lose inspiration and stuff. And you see something new and you want to do that.
Yeah, I don't even know if I ever had any inspiration for music when I was younger. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah,
it's probably-
I don't think I was inspired like
Okay.
as being able to see like what the possibilities were.
You must have had some, because you did learn those, unless you're being forced to play piano. Like a
Not
lot of parents
forced,
make
but
their
you know,
kids do.
like you're a kid, and it's like you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Like I'll go to soccer practice. I'll kind of go. You kind of
feel-
just
I
you're
feel
like
you.
wandering around as a
You're just
kid.
trying
Yeah.
to figure it out.
That makes
Yeah.
sense, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
even I, at a time, I thought I wanted to be like a cartoonist. You know what I mean? Like that was my dream.
Yeah.
And then when I started focusing more on my drawing and stuff like that, I started noticing like, fuck, like I don't want to do this. anymore. Like in high school, that's again when I went to DMCI and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's when I fell out of love with fucking drawing, and then
Yeah.
I got into.
I actually thought
photography.
I wanted to be an illustrator for a while
Yeah.
too. Actually, I wanted to be a concept artist, like for video games.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's sick. That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a cartoonist, and then I was like, and then I got into like anime and stuff like that. So then I was like, yo, I want to just make sure that if I do this and I can make a living out of this, this is me saying this when I was a fucking kid. I'm like, I want to be like one of the most respected like black dudes in the Japan culture and shit like that.
Yeah.
like that was my goal.
Right.
And then I got to high school, I was like, yeah, fuck that.
Just found out it's,
People were so inspired. I was like so young. We were like,
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Oh, wow.
amazing. You want to be accepted by this culture, da da da. I got to high school, I'm like, yeah, I'm
you
bored.
just
like,
gave up.
It's
Yeah.
funny because I think sometimes as people, as just human beings, we like make up these stories or something that we
Yeah.
think people want to hear or some shit.
Yeah, I feel
and we
like-
just kind of say that shit because we think we're supposed to.
And that's what happens, and then you take in fuck. Like,
Yeah,
this is real life, though. You know.
exactly.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually I'm like weirded out when people say like, yeah, when I was like 10, I was really passionate. Like I knew I wanted to do this. I'm like, how did you know? How did you have
Yeah,
true.
the attention span and like the
Yeah.
drive as a kid to be doing that at that time? You know.
I'm one of those people that did though in a way, but I wasn't 100% sure. But there's something inside me that told me because I started making these little YouTube skit videos, early YouTube. When I think about it now, if I continued then, I
Yeah.
feel like I would have been a YouTube
That's what I mean.
star
Like
by
we
now.
all found those
No,
things
but that,
I
but,
was on YouTube
but I
making
think what
shit
you're saying
like
is
08.
like some kid who's like picks up the guitar and just
Yeah.
never stops
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
shredding.
Yeah.
Fucking shredding. Like I follow this bass player and he's like 8 years old and he's just like fucking
Yeah. it's
And
just
you're like, yo,
how the
this
fuck?
fucking- what
Yeah.
the fuck? And like that's what you're talking
Yeah,
about, I think.
exactly,
Like I don't
yeah.
get that either,
Yeah.
man. I don't know how that's possible. But also, you know, it's like you there's different paths in life.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
like
for sure.
people who are doing that kind of stuff, like personally, like I love my childhood and now I draw a lot of my inspiration for my art
Yeah,
from that.
for sure.
And like if I didn't have that childhood doing what I was doing, just like being an actual kid,
Yeah.
I think I don't know, my life would be very different.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, I feel like people who weren't as like in touch with their childhood, they're like kind of, it's like, you know, it's hard to relate to them in
Yeah.
a way.
Because
you
it's
know?
so easy to just be like, yo, I wish. Like, I
Yeah.
always, like, I'm like, yo, I should have just. Or
I always
if
like,
only.
yeah,
like
you're just
now.
being a
I
kid,
wish
dude.
I'm like shit. Yo, I wish I went to basketball practice more often. Like,
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking playing basketball.
All
for a
that
living.
stuff.
You think you could
Get
be-
injured, get a nasty deal, like, and just sit.
Yeah. How could you make those decisions that young? You know, you just whatever. You're a kid, so you're just
Yeah,
gonna,
man.
But yeah, so,
It's
you
hard
know,
to do
now
that,
I found it again and
That's good.
I did all the film stuff and that ended up, that's been a real influence on me too because like I do,
helps.
I know what's up for all that stuff and like I got no problem taking care of my visuals and like I have a really specific vision about everything. So it's
yeah,
everything leading up has been helpful.
yeah.
So, what was I gonna say? So, what was like the film stuff like for you when you got into that?
It was good. I made a couple documentary films.
Nice.
TIFF.
Did
the
you
whole thing.
did you go to school and stuff like that or no?
Yeah. I went to university. I did like a double minor. I did like media studies and philosophy.
Nice.
And then, you know, I just
Well,
made,
not nice, but
made
nice.
films. Yeah. Well,
Nice thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
You did it. You did
I
it.
did.
Yeah.
And I did made some films after that.
Okay, sick.
Mostly documentary.
Okay, so you're a doc
And
guy.
a
Cool.
couple of narrative films and then like a bunch of music videos
Right.
and a bunch of photography.
Nice.
Cool.
And then yeah, you're saying TIFF. So did you get something into TIFF or?
Yeah, TIFF and not me, but like my production company, we produced a film last year and it went to Sundance. And
Nice.
like, yeah,
Are you still dabbling in the filmmaking, or are you kind of?
not so much. Like I do freelance camera work here and there, but not really for anything creative. Like mostly just corporate stuff, like so I can get paid.
feel that.
And
Better,
That pays the bills. Yeah.
yeah, it pays
Yeah.
actual money, and so I just do that camera work here and there. But then like pretty much all my time is now just focused on like practicing instruments and practicing and just working on music and collaborating with people, trying to collaborate with people and stuff.
Yeah.
And work on other people's music too. Like I've been working on.
So you produce as well?
Yeah. Well, I produce music. Like I'm working with a couple people right now. Like even this, it's funny. I don't actually know her artist name, but this girl in Atlanta, this great singer. I produced a track for her, and she's got an EP coming out. And I'm working with this other guy out on the West Coast, and he's like a singer like vibe. So I do some producing here and there, and then I'm also working with a couple people in the city just on their projects, just as like a co-writer and kind of just like being there.
Nice.
How was that transition coming back into music?
It was hard, man. Like I was like I wanted to go about it in a really specific way, and so I just started taking piano lessons again, and like mostly just worked on piano for the first like 6 months just to get like my basic fundamentals and like relearn all my theory. Start reading music again. And I chose to go that route, and so like I'm still very much like in the early stages of just learning and figuring things out. But yeah, I chose to go that route, and so I kind of like started with piano and just like really worked on that so that I could at least play keys a little.
Yeah.
Then I worked on my voice quite a bit, and I'm still just working on my voice and piano now, just simultaneously as much as possible.
Like that's what I was gonna ask you because
But it was like at the beginning, it was like, yo, I obviously realized like for like the first couple years, it's gonna be mad difficult figuring this shit out, and like
Exactly.
there's gonna be a lot of, and there was a lot of difficulty for me, and still is all the time learning new stuff and just practicing and just coming to grips with all that. But like I'm at a place now where I love it so much, and I can't stop. So that's a good sign.
so right now I guess you're just going to. Is music something that you feel like right now, like you're just gonna focus on,
Yeah.
kind of go on the ride with? You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically right now that's aside from like stuff here and there to make money and like I do a few different things for that, mostly freelance stuff, but like yeah, it's got like 90% of my focus. Yeah, I have a couple other side projects like some grant stuff like for a lecture series that I'm gonna put on, not that I'm doing, but I'm just kind of organizing it, and then I do have another feature documentary planned, but that's gonna be in like a couple years, like that won't be, that's something that I'll probably work on for the next like 6 or 7 years, like, and I'm just getting grant money for it, but like that music is like all that I'm really focused on.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So new music that's coming out, like even just like tell us, not even when I say new music, but like who are some of the people that you fuck with, like who are you listening to?
Who am I listening to? Definitely my friend's music. He's like a local artist, Justin Nozuka.
Okay.
I listen to his stuff a lot, and like so that music, obviously local Toronto guy. I love his stuff, and like I think hopefully someone finds his music from me saying it there.
Yeah.
That stuff, and yeah, a lot of Toronto stuff right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like a lot of Toronto stuff, bad, and like all those vibes and all that stuff, and just also like D'Angelo, and I just listening to R&B pretty much right now, and Smino, I'm really into Smino, heavy. Like I've been listening to Noir for the past, like off and on for the past couple weeks, and also the Black Swan, and like just his whole discography.
Yes.
Like been really getting into him as an artist.
I was gonna say, like I've noticed that a lot of people really into that D'Angelo, yo. I never took that in until recently.
Voodoo.
Still.
And also Brown Sugar, straight up.
Yeah.
Shit Damn Motherfucker is like one of the best songs ever. And that's on Brown Sugar.
I remember like
That's a vibe. There's actually an amazing live performance of it on
I remember
YouTube.
back in the day, yo. Shit, when that Untitled video dropped, I was so uncomfortable with that shit. But as I got older, I'm like, yo, this track.
He didn't like Untitled video, D'Angelo.
Yeah.
I know.
No?
Yeah, I heard that
I
too.
mean, realistically, that's probably what led to his downward spiral.
and that's what
but-
led to the downward spiral.
Yeah.
But that shit was hard at the end.
Honestly,
of the day.
though, that record is one of the craziest
One of the
things of all
craziest
time.
records ever.
I love that album so much.
Great.
That album changed my life.
It's wild. It's wild what just like just growing up and seeing so much different stuff, because like sometimes I take in like just growing up like how much different media or just different things I was just listening to and not ever noticing how much it would influence me in the future. You know what I mean?
Totally, man. And yo, gospel. I've been listening to a lot of gospel stuff for the past like
Oh, really?
year or
Gospel
so.
comes
Yeah, like, and I actually went down to New York last January to meet up with this friend of mine. And that was kind of like more in the beginning of like where I was exploring music. But he's plays keys at some churches in like Brooklyn and Queens and Long Island. And I went down and spent like some time with him there, and like went to his churches and like watched him play and like just talked about music with him, and like he was talking about a lot of gospel stuff and different things, and so like yeah, definitely I've been listening to a lot of gospel and super influenced by like that whole style of music and like the way they play piano and stuff.
I just gotta ask you then,
Obviously,
did you like Kanye's new album then? If you're into that,
honestly, like Kanye's definitely he's probably one of my top 3 artists of all time,
For
like
sure.
out of anyone, like
Yeah.
cross-disciplinary.
yep.
So I'll just say that I'm a big fan, and I always have been. But I didn't really like this album. Like, but then again, sometimes it takes me a while to get into new stuff from artists who I like.
I'm the
so
same way. Yep.
I don't know too much, but when I did listen to it, I was just like, like I don't know. I was kind of hoping for a bit more. I was hoping for something like like a live service Sunday or something. Like I wanted more of that type of shit, like real like musical records.
The actual gospel, because like
Exactly.
that was,
Yeah.
like,
To me, it just
actual
felt like
gospel,
beats and shit, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is cool, but like it just kind of sounds like to me like beats.
yeah.
Still.
Yeah, it wasn't the full.
That album was kind of
I didn't feel like I was
Again.
in church.
no.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I wanted to be in the
The
church.
album was disorganized. Like
I just wanted to be in the church. Like that's it. Like I just wanted to feel that energy personally.
yeah.
And I didn't get that from the album for the most part. Like I liked the beginning of it, but
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Sick.
Cool.
What did you say, Zach? Sorry.
Yeah, you distracted us.
What are we looking at on top?
I was gonna say you mentioned some artists, but who you're inspired by truly with your music? Your sound's very different than I think a lot of stuff that I've heard, especially in Toronto. Haven't heard anything kind of like that. Like kind
Which
of.
is, I was gonna say, which is good.
No, that's definitely good.
Because,
Nothing negative
so
about that
many
at all.
people sound the same. So when like I remember the first time that we got to hear your stuff, I was like, oh, okay, like this is pretty sick. Like this is pretty different. Like I
Yeah.
haven't heard vibes
Yeah.
like this really. So it's nice to again hear something that's new.
yeah.
So congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, because a lot of people just fall into trying to sound the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is very easy for an
Yeah.
artist to do right off the bat when they don't know haven't figured out themselves.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
for me, like I really, I guess, know what I want to express at least.
Yeah.
I have some very specific stuff that I'm trying to say.
Right.
And I think, I guess I just maybe do a good job of translating that into, because I just make decisions based off of intuitive feeling and like I choose my chords and stuff very carefully. Like I choose everything carefully, and I have, like you draw influence from different things, but when you kind of have that end goal in mind where you're like, I want to create a certain vibe, and you have the idea in your head and you can make decisions based on that outcome, then you're just trying to make something just to make it. And you're not trying to actually really sound like anybody else because you have something specific you want to say. And also, like, I'm really particular about my lyrics too. And so, like, you got to make the music to match the idea kind of. So I guess that's the best way I could explain it. I don't know.
What would you say is like if you could choose any type of words for your sound, what are they?
Anything to do with, like, space, like, galactic, dimensional,
Okay.
anything like that, ambient, just vibes. Yeah.
Vibes.
Existential stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
trying to talk about what everybody else is talking about, because like when I listen to a lot of lyrics, and this is not to in any way put down anything. I'm not like, I love every type of music straight up. But like with lyrics, I do find that a lot of stuff starts to sound very, very familiar. And sometimes I ask myself, like, what are people trying to actually say with their music? Like, what are people actually trying to say? What are we trying to say for real? Because it's got to be more than just like bop, 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 vibe all the time. Like,
Yeah.
we have to think about what we're saying and be intentional, I think, as artists. And so that's what I try to do with creating. But like, I think that's all. And everybody has the option to do that, because you just have to look at yourself and just like express yourself as honestly as you possibly can. That's the beauty of being an artist. That's what I wish that's what every artist would do. Just express themselves like so honestly. Because when you do that, that's where the best stuff comes from, I think.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, just relate stuff to your actual life and just what's important to you and put that in
just
your music.
Express yourself.
That
Pour
seems
your
like
heart out.
it's genuine, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think people are like kind of they're like scared of who they are, so they try
That
to
too. Pretend
they
to be
pretend they're something
someone
else on
that
it, yeah.
maybe
And then also there's like money that motivates them to do it too, which is
right.
not the best.
Right. Everyone's trying to be.
Yeah.
You gotta collect that bag, yo.
Yeah,
gotta-
of course, but it doesn't need to come at a sacrifice for, especially when you're
Character.
you're like taking away opportunities from people who are actually trying to say something meaningful,
Yeah.
And there's a time and a place, right? Like
Yeah.
there's obviously room for everything,
Yeah.
of course. Like, but yeah, it's nice to try and find a balance or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah.
And only the artists can really do that,
That's true.
What type of stuff do you have coming out soon?
Well, I got some stuff coming out with some people who I've been working with that I'm really, really excited about. Like, and it's not my stuff, but like I wrote some songs with some people, and like we're tracking some stuff on them coming up soon in like early December. Strings and drums and like live bass and a bunch of shit. So, that I won't say who it is or anything because it's just not out yet and all that. But I'm really excited about those songs. Like they are fucking classic shit, and I think people are really, really gonna like them. And then I have a few songs coming out too. I think I'm over the next like month I'll probably release 3 songs, and I just put a couple out, and then I've got one that I'm kind of just finishing up now. And I'll probably put that out in January. That's called Moon.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear when people are putting out stuff.
Yeah, just put out your stuff.
And I'm working on songs right now.
How many times
too.
have we said that?
Like I was working on a song just before I came over here. I was working on music, practicing piano all day, and then I started a new song just before I left to come here.
Okay, sick. So that's what I was gonna ask you now too. So like, what's it like?
And by the way, I love that song, Home.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That song's great.
That sounds great.
That's
That's
great.
such a great vibe.
If you haven't heard Home yet, please check
Yeah,
out.
you gotta
Rhythm
check
and
that
Boost
out.
2 by 750.
When I heard that song, I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah,
I was blown away.
That's what we make here in this basement.
It was really, I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, wow, this is really beautiful.
Thank
really
you.
good.
Appreciate
Really
that.
good.
Yeah. But yeah, like, what is it like for you now? So you're doing the whole music thing. What's it like for you to try and get people's attention when you are dropping the music, or you know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, as much as we try our best not to care about followers, likes, plays, blah blah blah, you need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
actually be able to do this.
Facts, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think at this point it's a cliche. I'm a fan of Gary Vee, obviously, who isn't. But I really, I take a lot of stuff that he says to heart.
Yeah.
And I try to balance it with all the other stuff.
It's
that
a lot
I
of
learned,
balance,
you know.
Yeah.
But like, I try to just really these days, I'm really trying to just be like, yo, it's got to just be about the music. I got to get better at this. I got to get better at that. I got to learn this. I got to learn that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I have to work on and practice to get better at and to better myself as an artist and as a musician. And that's been really hard work so far, and it's not easy. And so I'm just trying to be really super focused on that. And then I've kind of just been trying to like have fun with my social media. Like, I just post stuff that I think looks nice. I try to make good art and share stuff that I feel like is artistic, and like I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned about it. I'm trying to just have fun with it, and like that's, you know, I just want to get
good.
better at making music. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
fine.
That's good. Because I'm in the boat too, where it's just.
But we
like,
all go through that, obviously.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and I get it. Like,
those feelings, man.
it's hard, like, because when you're not getting
It is.
the attention,
Of course.
Yeah.
that you feel like you should be getting, but at the same time you don't know what else you can really do, because you're just like,
Yeah.
I've hit up this many people, I've
Not
reached
getting
out to this
attention.
many
My
whatever websites or whatever.
But
they're not
that's
hitting me back.
that's
so.
why I'm like, yo, I feel all that so hard too,
Yeah,
though.
man.
Like, it's real, but I really feel like I am really trying to just be like, yo, I'm just gonna be the best that I can be, and like I'm gonna work really hard.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna make some fucking fire. You better believe it. But like, I don't know when that's gonna happen. Like, I'll never be satisfied. That's just not the type of person I am. And so
Right.
like, I think, but like, that's the mentality that I'm really trying to just adopt. I'm trying to learn how to think like that, because like that's the only way I could see that I'll be able to like survive as an artist, you know, because you have to be so mentally resilient, like in so many ways.
Yeah, with a lot of it is simply just a balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And putting it on yourself. Like, I'm just trying to work on myself, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
that's, you know,
That's
That's all.
that's what you should
that's
do.
all you can do.
For
And,
sure.
and you know, that should be the only
Just
focus.
keep creating. Just keep creating and be
Exactly.
patient. And be patient. Yeah,
Exactly. That's it. Yeah.
honestly.
We want to just continue with you for a little bit, because you kind of brought it up when you were speaking earlier, and it was a question that I was going to ask everybody throughout the little interviews that we were going to be having today. So how do you feel? It's kind of like two things, but I'll kind of push it into one. So the first sentence here is kind of confusing, but are you what you need to be when you need to be it? So like, do you?
I get it.
Do you, yeah. So basically, is it important for you to like master everything? You know what I mean?
Are you what you need to be when you need to be it?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, are you talking professional, personal?
I'm talking about everything.
Emotional, all of life?
All of life.
Oh,
That's
shit.
like Zen mastery.
Yeah, I know.
Damn, every facet of life? Holy shit. I mean, yeah, that's what we're all working towards, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but is it important to you to also master your weaknesses?
Your weaknesses. What do you mean by that? I guess like
Recognizing that you may be weak at something and understanding.
Yes.
So, for example, some people, when it comes to
Yeah.
music, for example,
Yeah.
No, I've I know
we
what
could
you're saying.
say somebody like Summer Walker, for example. We don't want to talk about her too much, but we most likely will be. But Summer Walker, for example, she's cool with the music, but the business aspect or the public side of stuff, which is
touring or
touring and interviews
Just
and
not very-
live performances.
She's not media trained very well. She's not.
Do you?
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to get into her though. That's the thing. So just
Okay,
chill.
okay.
I don't want to get into her too
Well,
much.
I'll just say one thing on that.
Yeah.
Not on even on Summer Walker. First of all, I don't believe in media training. Second of all, artists have zero responsibility to anyone. Third of all, I don't think she has to do fuck all. I think if she wants to sit around and make music and post on Instagram and not tour and not do interviews, I think she should do that.
That's totally fine, right?
Yeah.
I
100%.
I agree.
100%.
I agree with that. Now, for the people that do see that as a weakness, though, so let's say, for example, like me personally,
But those
I
people
noticed.
don't know shit.
But now this is what I want to get into. This is the part because
That's the honest
what's,
truth.
What's important though
Because
is
they're not being empathetic. You gotta think. Of course, because if you're gonna say
But
that's a
the
weakness,
internet. You know what I mean? Like that's the internet. I'm not saying that it's a weakness.
You gotta
for her. It's
empathize with people.
But the perception that people are getting from her is that it is a weakness. I don't agree because I agree with what you're saying. Like, all she really wants to do is just fucking make music and
artist,
put the shit out anyways and just chill.
She's an artist,
which I completely agree with, and I wish it could be like that for a lot of people.
Artist.
And only so many people can do that. But again, focusing more on the question.
We're lucky enough to have her music. We're lucky enough to even have her.
I don't even want to talk about Summer.
Okay. We're not mentioning Summer Walker.
Summer. But I just want to focus on more of the importance of balancing.
Yeah. I think it's very important to
everything.
try and analyze, obviously, to look at yourself and do the best that you can to, improve where you think you want to and in a reasonable way, I guess. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have been doing that or you had to go through that process when getting back into the music? Because you were talking about how you had to go through, I have to kind of go through my theory again. And
that shit, that's not shit compared to what I've already been through in life anyway. I I've been thinking about this stuff since a long time ago. Yeah. And so I'm at a point now where I'm implementing for sure. For the past 3-4 years, I would say. I've been really trying to implement that stuff that I already know. Like, you know how to you know what you got to do. Yeah. Time to do it. Yeah. Time to do it.
I feel you. Okay, good. Yeah. That was my main question. Because I feel like a lot of the time people don't take the second to actually look back at themselves, you know what I mean? And see, I focus so much on my strengths, you know what I mean? Yeah. And a lot of people do that because that's where they're comfortable.
I do not focus on myself. I got to start doing that because that can be a problem also. Exactly. Because if you only focus on your weaknesses and what you're not doing great at, you have to also celebrate your wins, even the smallest ones. Okay, good. So it's a balance, right? Like it can't always just be one way or the other. Like I think there definitely needs to be a balance between both, and like you just have to want to improve. I think, and like I think that's really what it comes.
That's where it comes down to, just your want to do whatever you are.
Yeah, and trying as much as, at least for me, trying as much as I can to really only just do it for myself. Like that's. Like, I think for me, that's kind of the headspace that I want to be in. That seems healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was just saying, like, I feel like a lot of people don't focus on their weaknesses as much because they're so comfortable in what they're good at a lot of the time. Or like you're saying, a lot of people do focus too much on their weaknesses that they just kind of just.
It gets really hard. It gets really difficult.
It's for I wouldn't say for no reason, but it's like you're putting too much pressure on yourself when there are so many other good things that you are, doing right now.
Exactly.
As well.
That's right. That's a great way to put it.
Okay, sick. Any comments on that from you guys at all? Do you, Ian, feel like, you are also like not just mastering the things that you are good at, but also trying to pick up in some of your weaknesses?
I don't focus on my weaknesses too much, to be honest. Like, I understand some of my weaknesses. I think my approach, I'm more business mind. I'm not an artist per se. I am a filmmaker, but I'm not like a musician.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way.
I'm more business oriented. So when it comes to my weaknesses, I just find someone who can do my weakness.
Yeah.
And I bring them into my circle and I work with them. So I'm not the best writer. So I'd like to ideally get someone who's better at writing to help work with me and my brand and stuff like that. So that's kind of my approach. So I recognize my weakness, but I find people who can help me.
And that's actually a good thing that
yeah.
you have brought up too. It's also recognizing, hey, somebody might be better than me at this that could handle this. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do when it comes to the business approaching side of stuff, because I've thought about that too. I'm like, this is how like even a lot of this has even started. Just like we're all like, okay, well, we need one more person to do something like this, or we need a shooter, or we need somebody that could hold the space to do the fucking podcast or whatever. So you go out and you figure it out and you get somebody to do it. So
I don't have all the skills that us four have. So we all have our skill, like our strengths, weaknesses. We put them all together, and that's how
it works out.
It's working out right now. So that's kind of
good. So also building a good team.
Yeah.
That can complement your strengths and your weaknesses is also very important.
And to help you improve as well.
And to help you improve.
And to support.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Anything with you, Kevin?
Yeah, I think everything's been said already. Finding a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it started, for me, I think, like with music, it started fun. So it was kind of thing where you're just doing it. And then when you make that transition into realizing you want to do it as a full-time thing, I got into that headspace of like focusing on the weaknesses too much. So it's about finding that balance between like celebrating the wins and knowing what you have to work on. Yeah.
Okay, so those are my main questions.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm going to be asking everybody, so what you think about it.
Cool.
It's a good question.
Yeah, good question for sure. Good
Thank
discussion.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's good to
No, for real, thank
it's good
you.
to even just know what type of, if you're a person who focuses too much on what they're good at, or if they're a person who's
I feel
focusing
like,
too much on
and I'll just say my last
their
little bit on
weaknesses.
this. Just like
Super important.
Yeah.
even with this topic, but just like life overall, it's just like a lot of things aren't black and white. You know what I mean? Most of the shit's gray. You know what I mean? So, and in that gray area, I feel like that's where you're supposed to find balance. You know what I mean? Like that's where you're supposed to try to figure out, based on any type of scenario that you are in, whether or not to use the black or the white. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
And also to just take things seriously.
Yeah. And take it. Yeah. Exactly. Take stuff seriously.
Take things seriously. Take like be serious about stuff.
Take yourself serious.
Yeah.
And do what you have to do to make sure that you are able to be the best person that you can be, whether it be in your field or just overall. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
emotionally, whatever. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I hope people are taking this home. You know what I mean?
Is there a button for this?
Really, really thinking about it, and living what you preach. That's another thing people don't do a lot.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, it is hard. A lot of people could talk a lot of shit. You know what I mean? But it's about actually doing it a lot of the time.
Yeah. And that'll show, I guess.
Yeah. You're right.
In the end.
It will show at the end.
Yeah.
That's it for this one.
That's great.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
We appreciate you stopping by. Again, nice meeting you for the first time.
Oh,
we
great
have a track,
seeing you.
We have a track out.
Yeah.
We're doing boost.
Go listen to
yeah.
that home.
Check that shit out. Home.
No, but honor to be here. Seriously, straight up, for real.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks for coming
thank
through.
you.
We appreciate it. We'll talk after. Obviously, we'll just figure some other shit out.
Talk off the pod.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming through. We really appreciate you stopping by. Next, we're gonna have on. You know what? We're not gonna say who. It's a surprise.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery guest.
Done.
Somebody you don't know. Welcome to the Lost and Talks podcast. I just have to say what you just said because I totally forgot it is November. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been brave enough, strong enough to participate in November. It's been a long month. We're almost here. What is it? What's the date?
27th.
27th. Yeah. Wait, what the fuck? So it ends tomorrow.
What?
What? November is. Are we going to the 31st or the 28th?
It's the
Oh,
27th.
we're going to a 30. We're going to a
February
30.
28th.
My bad,
Wait,
yo.
what?
I've been here too long. Yo, I'm tripping balls.
It's that girl shit.
It's that gross, yo. No, it's that no nut, yo.
What are you saying?
This guy lost his
But
mind.
yeah, if you've made it this far, that's
If you've
impressive.
made it this far, here's a
said-
drink. Here's a
this-
drink for you from the boys at the Lost and Talks podcast.
Did that start because of like prostate cancer or whatever?
Nah.
I think it's just like
That's
a
the Movember.
That was a
Twitter
no?
joke.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, it was like a Twitter.
It's just a Twitter
fucking-
joke.
So
okay.
the real one's Movember with the facial
But the
hair.
No Nut
Yeah.
November
No,
makes
No
more
Nut
sense for
November
prostate
literally
cancer,
started
no?
like last year.
Doesn't it
No
make
Nut
more
is
sense for
brand
prostate
new.
cancer? Like, you know, like
I don't believe
yeah,
so.
right?
But
yeah.
it became like a joke, and now people take it seriously.
but
Like
bro, mans are out here fighting.
yeah.
Yeah, they
No
definitely
Nut
need a rebrand.
November. It's a real thing,
Wait,
man.
wait, I don't even.
No, it's not. Is it actually?
Yo, yeah, people are doing it. Like
That's crazy.
you go on Pornhub, they're like, it's not November. Sign up to our premium.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pornhub is
Fucking
like
fighting
that.
that shit. Yo.
Like if you go on Pornhub right now, they'll say, "Oh, why are you here?"
That's
Clearly, you failed.
Bro, they're such fucking snakes. They offer free, like premium
Yeah,
for
they
free
offer
this month.
premium
They're
free
like,
this
sign
month.
up for
Really?
free.
Yeah, I mean, well, their sales are gonna go down or whatever.
They're trying to, yeah, they get it. They get it.
People are
Yeah.
actually
They get it.
participating.
No,
Yeah.
it's definitely
And then people
makes
in
sense.
the comments are jokes. They're like, "Oh,
It's
you're
just-
here too."
Who's commenting on Pornhub though?
Bro, a lot of
Pornhub
That's
comments
creepy.
are crazy.
Pornhub comments
That's
are
nuts.
actually,
Hilarious.
they're actually
yeah.
pretty jokes.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Pornhub just to look. For
Yeah,
comments.
exactly. Yeah.
It's like it's actually pretty funny. Like,
Yeah.
It's just the nonsense people talk about.
That's
and
funny.
The conversations that they have on there. It's almost like Reddit.
Some people are.
What are they talking
funny.
about though?
People write some funny ass shit.
Whatever,
That has
man.
nothing to do with
Pop
porn.
culture.
True.
Like,
True.
They're talking about recently. They were just talking about the whole Disney Plus stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
like- you just scroll
pretty
down. It's
wild,
like, has
actually.
anyone tried Disney Plus yet? Like,
yeah.
what's going on? Like,
Anyways, I'm sorry. We should introduce.
We got-
You should introduce yourself.
how did we get on that topic? Fuck.
It always starts with porn.
Yeah.
My name is Ashton. I don't really know what to say. Like, how far back do you want me to go?
Go back as far as you want, man.
yeah.
We're gonna probably ask you about background anyways, but just feel free to touch on whatever you want to. Touch
Okay.
On.
Well, I am a videographer and a designer. And then I also have Studio OffCourse. Right now, it's kind of just like a community of creatives reposting the work to, just show people what's going on in the city. People can find inspiration there. And then I also started a video series called the Close Up. And I just talk with like different people within the city, whether they're like a photographer, they started their own brand, and then we focus on like one subject. One that I recently had was it was a person who started their own clothing company, and then we just talked about like the fact that you need to have a story, like for whatever you do, you need a story pushing it, or like no one's gonna gravitate towards that kind of stuff. So right now I'm just focusing on like meeting up with people and telling their stories.
Sick, sick. And that's kind of how we met you, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before you were Art of Toronto, the Art of Toronto.
Yes, Art of
So you
Toronto
rebranded
first.
recently.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
which is cool. Why did you do that? Like, I'm curious actually.
I was focusing on Toronto as like the main market.
Right.
But then I started to reach out to other people that were like outside of Toronto. And then like when I thought to myself, while I'm scrolling through Instagram, if I see like Chicago something, I'm not going to be interested in it because it's like made for that city. So I thought to myself, if people just come across the page, it'll be more likely that they'll get into it because it's not focused on one thing. And I also
Right.
don't want it to be like, oh, these are Toronto creatives. They're just like creatives, period.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't want to like pigeonhole people into some kind of label that I put on them.
I feel you. Yeah, you see someone from another city, they'll be like, "Oh, this isn't for me. I'm not from Toronto."
Exactly.
I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely want to
Okay, because like there are
broaden. Yeah.
even pages that are in different parts of here, the city itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, nah, fuck that. I'm not checking out fucking the West End buzz.
Exactly.
Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I follow Scarbuzz. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Six
I follow
Buzz.
Scarbuzz version.
Yeah.
I don't follow any other
Scarbuzz.
areas version of Six Buzz or whatever.
Shit,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. It's a good rebrand. I would say. I agree. But like when you first told me that the other day, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like that's a good idea. Like you might as well expand who you are trying to, not even necessarily market yourself to, but get in
Yeah.
contact with and
Exactly.
collaborate with
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's awesome. How long have you been doing this though?
Well, I started the page like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and it wasn't really that serious. I was just doing it for like fun. And then earlier this year is when I took it serious. I started to like reach out to people, post every day. I used to post like 3 times a day, and then like I just realized I'm like flooding people, so I started to slow down. And then I started filming in like January, and then started putting out episodes in November. There's like 4 up right now, which are pretty cool. Check those out.
Where can they check them out?
Studio.offcourse. Go on IGTV, and you have 4 videos there.
Okay, so it's a straight IGTV.
Straight
Yeah,
on
IGTV
you're
for
like
now.
Instagram mostly.
Yeah, only Instagram.
Cool.
YouTube's like a whole nother thing I can't even touch right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
you should though eventually.
Yeah,
for sure.
I want to make longer videos. Right
Yeah.
now they're like 2 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like you wouldn't go to YouTube to watch a video about someone you don't know.
Fair
You know what I
enough.
mean? You kind of just scroll, you see it, check it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get it. Good theory behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think IGTV is really good for those bite-sized, content pieces. So yeah, something like 2 minutes.
It's also new. It's still
Also new.
so it's like it's
So-
nice. It's like exciting to like
Yeah, push it.
yeah
Yeah.
to try and see
For
if
a
it could
moment
be
there, I
something.
thought IGTV was almost a failure, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'm
It's
seeing it
sticking
kind
around.
of
Yeah,
coming
it's
back a
co-
bit.
yeah.
It takes
Yeah.
time for
'Cause
this.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure, yeah.
I think
It's,
yeah.
we're saying it's new, so people are still trying to figure out.
I think that's
how
true,
can we,
yeah.
actually use this thing to
Yeah.
our advantage. You know what I mean?
I mean, people said the same thing about like Instagram stories. They were like, no one's going to Instagram to post stories, just go on Snapchat.
Yeah.
And then Snapchat kind of just slowly faded away,
Yeah.
and now everyone posts on Instagram.
Yeah,
so.
it is what it is. The new thing people are always skeptical to jump into, and then it ends up
TikTok.
Yeah,
and
I
like
was gonna say
TikTok, yo,
yeah.
yo, don't underestimate TikTok. Yeah.
TikTok.
Nah, it's unless if it's either TikTok's either gonna be the next Instagram or it'll be Vine and disappear. So it's one or the other.
People are making money on TikTok though.
Yeah, they're making good.
They're
money
making
on TikTok.
money on
Yeah,
TikTok,
yeah, well,
which is crazy.
Chinese owned now, so
Oh, is it?
a Chinese company bought it, which is interesting. So
So it used-
how
it used
however
to be,
how the politics
Musically.
behind that, it's just interesting. Musically, yeah,
Yeah, it used
they
to be
bought it,
Musically.
and then
How do you make money on there?
like
With views? Like the
so
view count, or?
like to be honest, like TikTok creators are not really making money. There's
It's like
really
Vine,
no
remember?
there's
So it's
no
like-
way of monetizing a TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok
Oh,
is
it's like
not,
the brand
They're not
and the-
paying you,
Can't-
so
Yeah.
brands have to pay you.
Yeah,
It's like-
yeah, yeah,
Again,
okay.
it's like Instagram. Instagram's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
paying
yeah.
brands.
Yeah,
on
there's
that.
no way of monetizing your shit as of this moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it's like how do you make money on Twitter? Like you can't. It's like
Yeah.
stuff like that.
The
you know?
main, the main
like
thing that you can just monetize
Ads,
now
yeah.
is
Yeah.
Or sponsored
ads
or
and shit
whatever.
like
Yeah.
that. And you can only do
Yeah,
that on
yeah,
Yeah.
I think anyways, back to that. Fuck. That's another
So
conversation.
how has the grind been for you switching, not only just switching the brand name, but also taking stuff more seriously and trying to put out more content and figure this out? You know,
It's been tough. It's been a lot more tough than I thought it would be because I'm doing everything by myself. That like finding the content, reaching out to people, filming, editing, posting. So I mean, I'm like learning a lot as well, and I kind of took a step back because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put this out. Everyone's gonna fuck with it. It's gonna be crazy. And then I put it out, and the first episode did really good. Like, I think it's around like 1,000 views right now. But then I started to realize that like I'm getting too caught up in things I shouldn't be caring about. Like how many people are viewing. I should be caring about who's viewing it. If people are getting anything from it, is the storytelling done properly?
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that I'm learning. But like I'm hoping I could expand because I can't continue to like do my 9 to 5 and then do this because it's like I'm my foot's one foot's like working on this and then my other foot's like job, and I want to take it serious to the point where this could be my full-time thing. So right now I'm kind of just like setting it up to where I can have a team help me out, or I don't know, maybe I get sponsored and someone puts money into it and then this could be my full-time thing. But I'm kind of just figuring out things as I go right now.
okay, so
Yeah.
that's a hard ass process.
That's
Yeah.
that's the trickiest part. Like everyone needs a job to make money and
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah.
When you're trying to build a brand, you're not going to make money for the first year or two.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Or
really
you never-
lucky.
You never know. Like,
You
I'm
spend
gonna,
a lot more.
I'm gonna say if you're lucky in the first 2 years, you might, but it could take 5 years or 10 years. Fuck,
Yeah.
sometimes who knows, right? You never know, but that's why you should never give up because it could take 2 years, it could take 10 years. So
Yeah.
just don't give up, and just learn throughout that process.
I think with most businesses they say like 5 years.
5
when
years
you hit that
minimum.
break, yeah,
Yeah.
break even. And that's like something I don't think artists or like creatives think about too much. Like you have to start thinking about yourselves as a business when you get into this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
think about it on that timeline. Like when people invest in a business, they know how much time it's going to take for them to actually start making money.
Yeah.
I think you got to realize that as an artist. It's not going to come right away. You know?
Yeah, and it's just the 9 to 5 mixed with, you know, how many hours you have to put
Yeah.
in on your brand. You just got to make it work. Like, you just got to fucking work a lot.
Yeah.
And just don't stop. You know what I
That's
mean?
like, again, that's the grind we're on basically
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's like,
Luckily, we're not doing like full-time work. It's more just part-time. And then we fit this in between all of our other time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
yeah, it's
But-
like,
It's
yeah.
really tough though, because I feel like you start like making art just because it's like what you want to do, and then you realize that there's like a business side to it, and you
Yeah.
have to grind, and then like some people get lost in that grind and then just
Mm.
give up, and then nothing comes from it. But like you just need to push past that like couple of years of like
yeah,
it not only being about art, but it's about something bigger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
usually is, yeah.
It's about I wouldn't even say your contribution to what's happening. You know, not only like directly with you, but like in the community. Like, you could be doing so much. I feel like what you have been doing has been getting a lot of people to start realizing that there are other creatives doing so many things in the city overall. Like,
Yeah.
because when we started following you, we're like, oh shit, like I'm seeing people I know, I'm seeing people I don't know, I'm seeing like cool shit that I didn't even know was happening in the city. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like your effect has had that you might not even notice all the time. You know what I mean? So that's it.
Yeah, it's tough. It feels good when I have people hit me up and they're like, yo, we found inspiration from your page, or like
Yeah.
people have messaged me and been like, we found photographers, model people to work with, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is exactly it. You know, like people think that there's not a lot happening, or that you can't reach out to people, because a lot of people still have that mindset that like Toronto's this clique and we don't fuck with anyone else, we don't fuck with ourselves. But it's like everyone I've messaged so far and everyone that's messaged me has like the opposite mindset. Like everyone wants to work together and like build a community.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good to hear that those people are out there.
Yeah, there are.
Sometimes you
But
think they're
sometimes they're
not.
hard to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
But
for
sometimes
sure.
you will just reach out to people and you're not hearing anything back, and it's like, I want to do so much for you. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you're not giving me the opportunity to help you.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
What has that been like? So like, you're saying you've been having positive conversations with, you know, the people that you have been reaching out to. But like, what was that like starting? Was it just like kind of like nerve-wracking to reach out to people?
First it was like, why would they even fuck with me? You know what I mean? Like, there's no actual connection. It's all just social media. And then I was just like, if I want to take it to the next level and actually like make it past something other than just online, I'm going to just need to reach out and like try different things. And of course, some people don't message back or they leave me on read, but
Yeah.
you can't let that kind of stuff
It's
get to
gonna
you.
happen. Like,
Exactly.
You're gonna have to hit up just a lot of people.
Exactly.
Half of them or more, you're gonna be like,
Yeah.
brush you off.
And I think most of the time, maybe it's just me, but like I thought I was more important than I actually was.
Yeah.
So when I would hit up someone and they wouldn't message me back, I was like, do you know who I am? Do you know do you know what I'm doing for the city?
Yeah.
And then it's like, yo, humble yourself,
I
bro.
feel that.
Like, these are people
Yeah.
who have lives. They're going on with their own thing. They have no idea who you are, what you want to do. They have their own vision, their own goal. And it's like, you know, just work with the people that want to work with you. Don't force things.
Those people
that's
might
good.
come around.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's key. Yeah, don't force things.
Yeah.
I feel
true.
like how do I put this? I feel like even me, a lot of the time when I was coming up into the whole music and video stuff, I wanted to work with specific people, and this goes back to the conversation that we've had before on this podcast about like not meeting your idols and stuff like that. But it's just like I always wanted to meet certain people and be in those cliques or be around those people because I was like, you know what, these guys are doing it. You know what I mean? They're doing what I want to be doing. And then when I finally got around them, I started noticing, yo, these guys are actually kind of whack.
Yeah.
Or
They're not who you thought
know what
they
I
were.
mean? Or
Yep.
they're
Yep.
not who you think you are, or like I've said again on the podcast, when I met one of my idols, I was like, damn, like I work harder than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just it's very interesting. So yeah, that is something I do agree with you on there for sure. Like not trying to force shit, just let it just happen. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And just let it come to be. Is there anybody that you do specifically want to work with though? Or just want to, you know, at least connect with?
Not anymore. I kind of put that to the side because it's like I have my vision of like what I want to do, and I feel like it's better to have people that think the same way as you. So instead of like me wanting to work with this person, and then I actually like meet them. We might not like line up. It might not be what we want to do. I might not have that experience. I mean, I might not have that. They might not meet the expectation that I wanted them to meet. So it's like I'm just going with the flow. Whoever comes along, comes along. If we link up, we link up. You know, maybe one day I'll get to work with some of the bigger people, but it's not something that I set my mind to anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like who wants to be here.
Okay, so
It's gonna be here. Yeah.
what are like? Do you have any bigger plans for the future? Like, where do you see this
Yeah.
in a few
What's
years?
the
you know
future
what I mean?
for OffCourse?
Do you have that yet? Have you kind of laid down? what
Kind
you
of,
want?
yeah. I think like the big thing that I want to do is work on events.
Okay.
So right now the interviews that I'm doing, they start off at 20 minutes and like cut them down to like 2 to 4 minutes. And there's just so many gems that are left out
Yeah.
of that interview. So I want to start working on like panels and stuff where I get the people to like tell their full story, not just those 2 minutes. And then that way, like I can bring people out into the city. And a lot of people that I work with, they're not like these big crazy names. They're people who are still, you know, if they have a clothing brand, they're packaging everything and they're like making the clothing and
they're
everything.
still
So
doing it.
exactly, I feel like when you look at some people, they look intimidating, but then when you actually meet them in person, it's like you were just in my spot like last year.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So when you meet the people who are still like grinding, it's like
Yeah.
inspirational and it pushes you to like keep going.
So that's how I thought about you when I first met you. I thought you were gonna be something else, and I met you. I'm like, oh, like you're.
I'm just some guy.
Yeah.
You're normal.
We were so
You're
curious.
You're still trying to figure this out too.
Yeah.
You know what
We
I
were so
mean?
curious on who you were because there's no face now.
Yeah.
There is because we know.
Yeah.
But it's not out there. You don't publish your image out there.
No,
At
it's
least
not about
maybe
me.
I don't know if you ever want to.
No,
Probably
No,
not.
no,
No.
no.
Fair enough.
I prefer to
no,
be
that's you want to be
behind the
anonymous.
I think
kind
for what
of.
you're doing, it's it's
You
not
don't need
about
to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, it depends.
It's about
Depends
that,
on
yeah.
some people want to show their face.
Yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
don't. Do you need to? Probably not. If it's
As long
about
as
if
you're
it's about
building-
the artist.
As long as you're
Exactly.
building the brand in the right,
Exactly.
in the best way
Exactly.
possible. right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need the personal brand
Yeah.
Yeah.
per se.
Follow me on Instagram though, not Ashton Chambers.
Follow his stuff. There's some dope
We'll have that
videos
pop
too.
up at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach will edit that in.
That's jokes. So let's get back to this conversation quick that we were having earlier.
About porn.
That was what we were talking
We're
about.
talking about strippers.
That's what we talk about like 95% of the time.
It
we're
somehow
off air,
comes
I
up,
think,
yo.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
strippers and porn and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like,
Shit.
what was the last thing that we were saying there?
Wait, what?
What was the last thing we were saying?
Like just now?
No, about the stripper and porn stuff.
Oh, you actually want to go back to that?
Yeah, we might as well touch on that quick. We have the man sitting in the hot seat.
The
You
stripper-
we gotta put somebody on.
I don't know what we were talking about. We were talking about No Nut and the history of it.
Oh, the history of No Nut.
Yeah.
That should be a documentary.
History. Yo, we got the doc.
I'm not a part of this.
we got the plug here.
Don't fucking kill me, man. But let's get into it. Like, some thoughts.
What is this?
What do you want to know? Like, what
Some
kind of porn I
random,
watch?
Like,
You know, like we were talking earlier about, you know, like family members.
Wait, what? Yo, explain yourself, fam. Explain yourself.
No, I was talking about family members being strippers, people that you know being strippers,
evil
or
world.
in the adult world, in the adult industry, and there's feelings towards that. So it's just like, would you be able to, anybody, it's not just you, sorry. Would you be able to support, or not support, but like be okay with somebody that you know, for example, like having an OnlyFans?
We didn't talk about this before?
No. We kind of talked about like
Fuck did we get here?
family members.
Alright.
Yeah,
having
yeah.
it, but, like,
It's fine, though.
I'm talking about like friends now.
Yeah,
like,
okay, yeah.
Friends, coworkers.
I mean,
What
that's
is
that's different.
sorry?
That's different.
What is
You
the question?
You can support.
Say the question one more time. 'Cause-
Somebody you know, not family this time, because before we were talking about family, but like having an OnlyFans or being a stripper. Or, how would you support?
how would I support, or would I support
Would
it?
you support? Yeah.
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't not support it.
You know, the baddie at the pool
Boy.
store.
Sure. Apple Store.
As OnlyFans.
I support it. Like, are you telling me would I subscribe to it? Are you asking me if I was? You're asking me if by supporting you mean would I subscribe to it?
Yeah, like are you dropping? Are you dropping the $5 a month because that's your friend? You know what I mean?
No.
But then why do you want somebody to come out to like your shows or?
Yeah, I'm supporting.
I want somebody to buy my
$5.
album.
Yeah, $5.
Yeah, I would
so
drop
you're-
5.
Oh, I see what
I
you're
would drop
doing.
5.
You're comparing someone supporting our grind versus their grind.
Exactly.
That's a
See
grind,
what I
right?
mean?
Only if they're grinding though. If they're already richer than I am, then I'm not gonna support them. Like,
Like,
You don't fuck with that, eh?
yeah.
depends on what it
This guy's-
is. Like,
depends on the content.
Solo, I'll pay.
Yeah, eh?
You're not paying for
Yeah.
couples?
Nah, I'm not gonna see another guy's dick.
Come on, yo. Somebody
What kind of porn do you
I'm
watch
saying it's cool
then?
to see another guy's dick.
I guess they
but,
want you to
this
pay
is
for it.
normal.
And pay for it and not watch it. Fine, maybe.
Wait, pay for it and not watch it.
Just the money as the support, but I don't need to view it to support.
yeah, I'm watching that. You know?
It's your friend, like his. I don't want to say names
But
as
it's
an
the baddie,
example
because
because
the baddie from work or the
baddie from work.
Like the retention value of it.
Depends on how close the friend. That depends on who it is. Like just the baddie from work.
telling you,
Sure.
it's the baddie from work.
Just the
yo.
baddie from
She's
work.
like,
Okay,
yo,
fine.
she put you
Like I'm not
aside
really
after work.
friends with the baddie
She's
from
like,
work. You know,
yo, Ian,
it's like an
like-
acquaintance. It's fine then.
I don't know if you heard, but like I just said that the OnlyFans.
That's whack.
You know?
Pulling someone aside at work saying, give me $5 to see my nudes? Nah, you're not getting
I
my
just
money.
started the
And what do you
OnlyFans.
do when you go into work? You're like, yeah, I saw your clip last night. Like, it's great.
No, like what if they
what
come
the
to you about serious feedback?
How
And
active is she on it?
that's something that
serious feedback?
she's new to this.
Like
so I
she's
don't
like,
know.
should I do
Like,
this
does she
next
post,
time?
like every week or like once
That's
a
her
month?
goal. But you know how these girls are sometimes. Like, you know how people are. It's almost like these guys that want to be YouTubers. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they start off really well, and then
They start off hot,
and then you fall off because you taking like life gets in the way. You know what I mean? You
You're
can't.
telling me
You
you
can't post every day.
subscribed and you've seen them fall off.
No.
This is what he's heard. This is what he's
This is
heard.
what YouTubers.
I'm talking about YouTubers.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like this is in a sense the same thing, if you will, or like a don't kill me, or like a Patreon. You know what I mean? That's it's like you paying for somebody's Patreon.
Okay.
Can we get
that has-
personal?
Patreons are
Pardon?
good.
Can we get personal?
Yeah,
Who do you follow on OnlyFans?
I don't follow anyone on OnlyFans.
That's a fat ass lie.
No, I don't follow anybody on OnlyFans.
Not anymore, at least.
I've thought about doing that just so I could feel better about all the illegal porn that I have been consuming.
Yeah.
But
Illegal.
nah, like I'm not really interested in the OnlyFans or like the private snaps. Like I don't want to be. I've told these guys before. Like I'm not one of those guys that can like watch porn and stuff like that on my phone. I can't.
What do you watch?
I'm watching it on my laptop.
That's crazy.
I need to watch it on my laptop.
I'm a laptop man too. Not gonna lie.
I need to watch this on my laptop because I need the
Yeah.
screen.
I'm a laptop man.
I need the full
Yeah.
screen.
I
like-
phone
I can't
occasionally,
be
but
holding with one hand. My wrist is getting tired while my other wrist is getting tired.
that's why you need like a. No, that's why you need a pop socket. You need like a pop socket. You know, hold the phone.
The pop socket on the wall. Don't
you like-
fucking kill me.
The thing that sticks on the wall.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
The little
You
car-
put like a
the
little
car
flashlight on the
attachment.
wall?
No. I don't have anybody's.
Okay, fair play.
OnlyFans.
Nah, I refuse to pay for any of that. To be
Yeah, I'm
honest.
not paying for
Actually,
porn.
Depends on if Rihanna got an OnlyFans.
How much is that costing though?
I don't give a fuck.
Ariana OnlyFans would be too much.
Yeah, way too much.
Oh man, she'd be charging
pay.
bills, bro.
I'd pay.
And it wouldn't even be like,
I'd pay.
it'd be like clickbait too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even
Yeah.
gonna be good stuff.
It'd be
too,
like
though.
clickbait.
true.
It'd just
It's
It's
be
gonna
like,
be like lewds,
Yeah.
like lewd photos,
I mean, her nudes are out though, so
and they've been out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just, and that's already free.
But
exactly.
That's my thing. I don't get how guys pay for stuff when it's out there free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
those guys are
Well,
wild.
no, but
Some
now you have
weird
to
old
bring it back
guys
to
doing that
the
shit.
world now. Now it's just the baddie at work. Because you're not getting that stuff necessarily for free unless you're running game. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, but it's like there's so much content out there. Why would you pay $5 for her?
Exactly. Is she that bad?
Yeah.
Well, I think we talked about it, right? It's
I get
different
it.
when it's somebody you know. Like,
I get it.
helps
I
you
get it. I
into
kind of
a
get
little-
you
Okay.
because it's on
Yeah.
a personal level. Like you're seeing this person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this
on
is
a
somebody
regular.
that you actually know. Like,
Okay.
this
And
is-
it's
Okay,
like,
okay.
yes, I've seen you
Get, like, free
naked.
trials on OnlyFans?
I think you can like have a little
Because I feel like if
promotion.
it was like the baddie at work, I would do it just to see it. And then once I seen it, I'm like, okay. Then
I don't feel like that's full support. You know.
It's not about support at this time.
You know what I mean?
It's not about
But
support.
that's what I want to focus on, guys, because we're here asking for support all the time.
That's,
are we really
I get it.
supporting-
I'll support
Shit, we
her.
sound like hypocrites right now. Ask
Put
for
her in my
support.
story. I'll send people to her page.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. See, at least it's something. You know what I mean? That's what I want to make sure that we're doing. Because as long as we're out here supporting the people that matter and are actually out here grinding and doing what they got to do,
That's like grinding.
then it's cool. Like, I wouldn't mind. Like, I would drop a 5. You know what I mean? If it was somebody that I knew, and they were like, "Yeah, like this is what I like."
Yeah, but 5's not a lot. I feel like if she's charging 5, then like
She's
what
starting.
do
But she's just starting.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I've done the research. I'm not saying I've
When you
subscribed.
start at 5.
Right.
Yeah,
The
But
good ones are like
I've
50.
seen like the people that start out. They start like a 2 something to $5.
The
Wait,
good, the good ones are like at
$2?
15.
Yeah.
It isn't
$2.
You get on the big porn things, or like when you're on like Bang Bros and all that. That's when you can start like charging like 20, 25, 50.
You guys have done your research, eh?
Yeah, man. We are.
Okay.
We've looked into some other avenues of income
Right.
as well for us. So it's just like
We've looked at possible grinds in the future.
possible grinds that we would like to. Again, Lost Nostalgia is not just a production.
We explore other avenues.
It's not just about
That is-
music videos and Instagram ads
Got bills to pay.
and being, creatives. You know what I mean? It's about, thank you. It's about paying the bills at the end of the day and understanding what some people want. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, if there's like a demand for it, then you must be the supply.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
you know what I mean? I
yeah.
feel like this is a great time to move into a lot of just digital content, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can make so much stuff online and just content is king right
Content's
now.
king for sure.
Content is truly king right now. So I just want to make sure everybody's supporting the people that are creating the content and the people out here actually making the content. That's all I'm trying to say at the end of the day, man. This wasn't supposed to be anything other than that.
I do not think we could talk about this ever again.
That Last Nostalgia streaming service coming
Yo.
2022.
We
You know how
talked
I
about
I
this.
spelled coming.
Bro,
my
we'll talk about
God.
this right after. We've had some conversations about the future.
We'd have to rebrand it. I'm not putting
Yeah.
It's a different brand. They don't need to know it's under this one, you know.
Ian's
What is what?
Ian Stash. What's under Ian's bed? I don't know. Still trying to.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out though.
You're not cut.
So yeah, just that's again, like I was saying, folks. That's just something to think about. Again, you want people to support you. Make sure you're supporting everybody else as well. You know what I mean? Whether it be the person that
Everybody's got
is,
their own grind.
you know, out here grinding on the streets, just whether it be selling drugs,
Fuck.
whether it be making music, or having an OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Just support the content creators.
The content.
I don't know if a drug dealer is a content creator.
Yeah. I don't know the drug dealer one, man.
They're content
Content creator.
creators.
Okay.
I had a guy that when he was selling me weed, he had like little notes about the weed.
Really, he told you like the
Yeah.
effects of it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's serious about his job.
Yeah, and I was like,
Okay.
this is somebody. He's going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now.
Yeah.
To be a millionaire. Like that's what it's about. You know, it's about
Yeah.
the customer experience. I was
Give him some time.
getting great stuff, and I'm like reading these little descriptions that he hand wrote. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Oh, they're handwritten too. That's
Handwritten
personal.
on a little piece of paper.
Yeah,
Wow.
it takes the time to
Yeah.
write each
And it was a
one.
good
Little
piece of
dime
paper
bags
too. It
on
was
all
a
of
thicker
them.
piece of paper.
It wasn't like the cheap,
Yeah.
regular.
He went to Staples and
flimsy.
bought that nice paper.
Yeah, exactly. It was some good paper.
I rate the hustle.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about. It's about the hustle and making sure you're supporting people that are doing it out here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I wanted to get to you with those questions that I asked Nina earlier. Nina Rosa, thank you again for stopping by. Once again, this is the Lost and Talks podcast, the most lit podcast in the art community or the community or whatever.
Facts.
Episode 11. Shouts out to Grolsch and Neutral.
This is neutral. Don't give
How
a
is
shit.
that tasting, by the way?
It's okay.
It's sparkling vodka, right?
It's it's a little plain. but it's fine.
It's like just a.
It's like a low.
It's a beverage.
It's a very light drink. Like it's low calorie. There's no sugar in it.
How
So
much,
it's kind of like if you want that
alcohol?
like diet.
Is there supposed to be a flavor in it?
It's
supposed to be
there's
little
like a hint
pineapple?
of pineapple.
A
much
hint
alcohol?
of pineapple.
It's 5%.
5%.
5%. So it's
Same
pretty.
thing
It's
as this. This is
it's like a
only
beer, but it's if you're trying to watch your weight, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's why White Claw is popular because
I think it's like-
0 calories or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Do people really care about that shit?
A lot of women, what?
Women are dumb sometimes.
Yeah.
Edit point.
White
Cut that
Claws
shit
are
out.
popular. A lot of females like it.
This guy's trying to get this podcast canceled.
Nah,
already.
man, we need that.
No,
type
a
stuff
lot
on
of
here
females like
sometimes.
White Claw. That's just.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I
the
was
marketing.
going off of his point.
No, his point. His
His
oh,
point.
My bad.
He doesn't even have a mic. Yeah.
No, I
I
would.
need to reiterate.
I would like to one day like have some females on here so we can actually have a good argument.
Yeah, we
you know
do.
What I mean,
An
About
argument.
just stuff.
Yeah, or-
You know, not an argument, a debate.
Yeah.
About just like different perspectives on
Sure.
what's going on here. What the fuck's going on?
Sure.
But anyways, I'll get back to my questions now. So the first question, and again, it's kind of a two-parter, but take this first one as you want, and that's why I have the second part to it, so that kind of expand on it a bit. Are you what you need to be when you need to be it? Or have you ever been in a situation where that kind of came about?
I don't know where to like answer this question, so I'll kind of answer in two parts. I feel like when it comes to like doing work and like creating things, I am who I need to be. I just figure it out. You know what I mean? Like I don't give up because I don't know what's going on. I just jump in and figure it out. But when it comes to more like mental stuff, not really. I feel like I'm still learning and growing about myself, figuring out what I don't like, what I do like, where I want to go. And that takes a lot of like you trying things and you like accepting failure and you learning from it. And that's a hard thing to do. You know what I mean? Like accepting that you failed and then looking at why you failed and how you could make it better for next time or like not even have it happen. And I'm still learning within that process. So yes and no.
Okay, I feel you. And again, it's one of those things like we were saying before. It's a lot of like just balance. You know what I mean? Like, figuring out, and yeah, figuring out what you need or what you can do, and then from there, try to see what you can figure out by yourself, or
Yeah.
you may need somebody else, and blah 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 blah. The next part was it was not even really a question, but just the importance in mastering your weaknesses. So, almost again, going back on that, what you just said, do you feel like there have been situations where you maybe should have focused more on not necessarily just your strengths, like some of the things that you aren't good at?
For me personally, when it comes to like work or just anything in general, when I ask other people what they think about what I've done, I ask them what could I do to make it better? Because like I already know what I did that's good. I can see their reactions when something's good, but like focusing too much on what you are already good at, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's like your shortcomings that keep you back. That creates like your own glass ceiling almost. So for me, I don't know if I'm like criticizing myself too much, but I tend to focus on what I could do to make myself better. And even like figuring out what you're not good at is tough because you don't want to think to yourself that you're not good. You know what I mean? And you can kind of fall in the trap where if you focus on those things too much, you might just stop doing what you're doing because you don't see the positive in like your art or your work or your anything that's going on in your life. So yeah, I kind of focus on the weaknesses and see how I can make it better from there.
Yeah, focusing on your weaknesses can be tough, and it comes back to like self-awareness as well.
Yeah.
Like knowing what you're not the best at, and then that's when you work on that and improve it. Right.
What, if you don't mind, what is one of like your weaknesses? What would you say?
Nothing, I'm perfect.
Well,
I was gonna say facts.
facts. It's fair.
One of my weaknesses. That's a tough one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's hard to know what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel that.
I think taking criticism from people I don't look up to.
Okay.
Because there's been times where, like, even at work, where like the account coordinator would tell me something about the video, and I'm like, no, I'm the videographer. You don't tell me what to do. But then it's like they've been in that position for so long, and they dealt with clients. Like they know what the client wants, right? I'm the middleman between them and the client, and that's one thing I had to step back and be like, I'm coming at it from more of a creative point of view, and they're coming at it from a marketing point of view. So one thing is like understanding that when someone tells you something, they're trying to help you. You know what I mean? They're not just trying to put you down, especially if it's at work.
Yeah.
They like want it to be at the best quality possible. So I need to be more open-minded to criticism from other people that aren't like artists or creative, that kind of stuff.
Okay. What do you think about people, not even people, sorry, failure, if you will, like not accomplishing or getting certain things that you've worked hard for? You know what I mean?
I think failure just in general is a very important thing because that's where you learn most of the stuff that's going to take you to the next level. And when it comes to like not getting the stuff that you wanted, for me, that's happened a lot, even with like studio off course and doing the interviews and stuff. Things didn't turn out how I wanted to turn out, but then I realized I can't focus on the things that I can't change. And I need to focus on the things that I actually can change.
Yep.
And then just from that, you learn that you'll have a better experience in life if you have less expectations and you just go with the flow rather than trying to force things to happen. You just like take life on and then deal with it the best way possible.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah,
I think with our videos, like with our music videos, it's like a lot of the times, we don't always get what we want. It's happened.
Like even that day you came through.
That day, that's a perfect example of a day where, and a lot of it was out of our control, but we didn't get what we wanted. And, we're not gonna beat ourselves up about it. We're just gonna try and make it work.
Yeah, exactly. That's
And
what we're dealing
we
with now,
rarely
is
get what we really want at the end of the day. As creatives too, it happens with everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I was gonna say like
yeah.
you rarely get what you had in your head a lot of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there have only been a few times where like our shoots have just been like great, like just smooth.
Like that perfect shoot, we only had a less than a few.
Yeah, I've said I was saying maybe we've had like 2-3 of those. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But everything else has been kind of like, okay, this is happening. Okay, we have to change this, so we have to figure this out. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And even I bring that up just to say like I've noticed even with some of my friends that are outside of just like the art community, they don't have to deal with this as much. I have people that are doing other stuff in other fields and stuff like that, and they aren't able to take criticism or not able to take failure, if you will. Again, I don't like to use the word failure as a bad thing really, but yeah, failure. They don't take it for what it is a lot of the time. They just take it as a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend that wasn't accepted into this group for whatever reason, for whatever she's doing, right? And she was just so hurt by it. And I'm like, dude, like, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Life goes on.
Yeah, like it doesn't even necessarily mean that they didn't want you. It could be so many different things.
You never know what's around the corner. 6 months down the road, she might get a better opportunity.
And that's what I try to tell people a lot of the time. Like, if those things don't work out for you, it's because it just wasn't meant to be yet, or something better is coming.
I think as like a creative, it's easier for us to do that kind of stuff because we're always trying new things. Exactly. You know what I mean? But like, if you want to be a lawyer, there's like one path that you have to take, and if you can't go down that path, then you can't become a lawyer. But for us, it's like we can go social media, we can go digital, we can go events, we can go music. There's so many different paths, and it's like, I'm not trying to say like it's one thing's better than the other, but it's just as a creative, you have to be open to multiple paths. You can't stick to one thing.
And as a creative, we've had to deal with so much no's.
Exactly.
If you will.
Yeah. Anyone who knows that if they want to do this seriously, like they have to know that you're gonna have to deal with more no's or failures than
no's.
successes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just interesting seeing it in other people. Like, again, my close friends that are just going through it. Because I'm just like, like, you're gonna be fine. Like, you know what I mean? And it's hard sometimes trying to explain that to them because I know exactly what they're feeling because I've been in that same position where I wanted something so bad and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even though I'm in a good spot now, you look back on it, you're like, wow, I've learned so much from that experience. But just being in that moment, you're like, fuck, like, what do I do next?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's this one really dope quote that I kind of like think about a lot, and it's the teacher has failed more than the student has even tried. You know what I mean? And from that, it's just like I just have to keep trying over and over and over.
Yeah, I feel like there's no end to it, really. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even if you do want to become a lawyer or whatever, again, like, you're not going to be able to get into everything. You might not get into the law firm that you want to intern at or whatever. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that it's ended there. It always just means that there's something else coming.
Yeah.
And keep your head up, because if you're keeping your head down because you're so cheesed about a lost opportunity, you might lose another.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you know what I mean?
Kind of off topic question.
Nice.
Do you guys believe in destiny?
Destiny.
A touch, like yes.
I believe yes, but I think it's something that you create. I don't think it's something that just like existed from the beginning.
I
You,
feel like
you know what I
have to
mean?
work for it.
Right.
Like
You know what I mean? You have to put in the work. Like, you could have a path that's for you, but you have to work towards that path. It's not just gonna appear and just
Right.
happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of work that goes into it. Like, I feel like this is my path. Like, again, I've said this on this podcast before. Like, most things that I've done in my life have led up to this, and whatever the fuck is gonna happen in my future.
Right.
When me and Kevin were fucking going to elementary school, we did the fucking announcements. People tell us all the time we have great radio voices. We've been hearing that since grade 6,
Yeah.
grade 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people have always been like, "Oh yeah, you guys are so cool. You guys are so creative. You guys are just doing this stuff." Kevin's been making songs on the announcements for our grad store.
Yeah.
Hot
Grade
fucking
8.
tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grade 7, grade 8. Fire songs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Fire mix-ups from like Justin Timberlake tracks and shit. Like, you're like, what? A young kid is coming up with this stuff, and we're here practicing in the basement. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all of this stuff was supposed to happen. So that's
Yeah.
why I feel like, the Destiny
Yeah.
stuff kind of works in, but it's also about making sure that we stayed on path, on the right track, and
Yep.
always continued to work towards it.
Yeah. As much as we acknowledge that, it never feels like something where it's like, okay, yeah, it's coming to us
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
It never felt like that. It's like, yeah, it's there, and it feels like it's supposed to happen, but we still have to put the work in to get there. You know?
Right.
Like, yeah.
That's how I feel about
Yeah.
it.
True. And then it's almost like the universe like sets it up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
you start working towards it, and things like it doesn't fall in your lap, but because you're like within that energy, like you attract what you put out. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what it is. And that's what we've been noticing as well, just like as a company, just us switching up our mindset and saying, you know what, let's switch more to just a brand, you know what I mean? And not just a production company, not just one thing, if you will. Let's try to get out there more and be a staple in the city
Right.
and maybe even the world, you know what I mean? Be a big part of everything that's going on in all communities and all fronts. That's how we met Tommy and everything. That's how we met you, making sure that we connect with other people, collaborate, do any type of work. And it's been working out pretty much. Just being nice to
we
people.
like how it's going
Yeah.
You know what I
so
mean?
far.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
That's all it
Yeah,
is.
Just
and
being
we're
cool
having
with
fun with
people.
it.
Being
Yeah.
nice, trying to figure it out together, because you start figuring out a lot
Yeah.
of the people that you are collaborating with don't know what the fuck's going on either. You know what I mean? Everyone's
Very
just
true.
fucking winging it every day, realistically.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's good to see when, again, like-minded people just coming together and figuring shit out and trying to make sure that we do this whole thing in the city and bringing everyone together and making sure that there's this culture in the city that is like no other. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. We are the culture.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna even ask you about the same question you asked us, like fate, destiny. How do you feel about it?
I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't believe like there's a meaning, like there's an intrinsic meaning to life. So that kind of trickles down to how I feel about destiny and fate. But then sometimes it's like there's no way that this was just a coincidence.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
things line up too perfectly
Yeah.
sometimes. You know what I mean?
It's
And
a little
like,
weird.
yeah, and it's like, what's going on? So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I definitely don't think like what you guys were saying. Like there's just this place you have to be, and the universe would push you there. You have to work towards it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I change my mind on it like every day.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like-
it's who knows what that.
Like, I'll tell you, like,
Is there
there's,
an
like,
answer to
little
this?
shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I even had to write on Twitter about it. I was like, shit, I swear somebody's watching me. Because I was like sick. I had all this shit happen to me, but one of the thing that just set me off and just made a difference in that day because I was sick as fuck. Like I was just sick. I had 2 of my jobs that day, so I had already worked at one for a few hours and blah blah blah, and I was just dreading going to the other shift. So I was like, I have a 2.5 hour break between the shifts, so let me try to go home and let me just get like a shower in or something. Like I just want to feel better. So I got home. I'm like rushing. I take my shower. I hear my phone going off while I'm in the shower, and I'm like, whatever. I'll just check it later. So I check it when I get out the shower, and it's my manager. She was calling me, and from my other job that I was gonna go to, and then she texts me right as I picked up my phone and I saw the calls. She texts me. She's like, "Yo, Jamal, is there any way that you can come in today? Like, we need an extra body. Somebody else is sick." And I'm like, "Wait, I swear I was already working." Yeah. So what had happened was I had the shift, but they switched around my shift. They gave my shift away to somebody else, or some shit like that happened. Weird. And I didn't have the shift that day at work anymore. I didn't even know.
Yeah. And then you went home too.
And then I was already home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was already feeling like shit. And so I just told her, I'm like, nah, like,
yeah.
I'm chilling today. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just wild stuff like that. And I was like, wow, like, I really needed this day just to relax and just try to get better. You know what I mean? Because, like, if I don't, then I'm going to be fucked up for the rest of the week. And I was able to have that time and get better. Like, it was just amazing. Like,
yeah.
It's just weird how shit like that can happen sometimes. You know what I mean? Where everything just aligns. I'm like, I had a shift. It's in my fucking calendar right now. And she hits me up, asks me, can I come to work? I'm like, nah, fuck that. Fuck.
Yeah.
So it's just great. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I told these guys my theory on life. It's nothing really matters, you know?
Yeah, same thing. There's no like intrinsic meaning to anything.
Yeah, there's nothing really matters. But what I say is, because people, when I say that to people, they're like, fuck, then what the fuck what am I here for? Like, what am I supposed to do?
People get scared.
I remember I said that one time. He's like, what the fuck are we doing this for? Like, he's getting all pissed. I'm like, bro, chill. I'm like, this is the good thing about it.
What do you mean
like,
nothing matters?
I'm like, nothing matters, but what you're supposed to do is just have fun. You know what I mean? Do what you want to do and actually accomplish it. You know, try to have the experience in life that you want to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what you make it, if you will.
I'm like on the same thing. Like I feel like you have to find your own purpose.
Yeah.
And then just live into it.
As humans, that's what we are. Like, we're searching for some type of purpose. We're trying to figure out why we're here on this planet because we don't know what the fuck's going on anyways. You know what I mean? So, just figuring that out and taking that in, like, yeah, nothing matters, but I'm here just to do what I got to do, you know, leave a mark on this planet, whether it be here for a long time or not.
Yeah.
Leave my mark and cut, you know what I mean?
Climate change is going to wipe us out in like 20 years.
Oh, well,
know,
shit.
you know?
That's another one. That's another one. That's another topic.
But that's how life is sometimes, you know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Yeah.
We
It's
are.
crazy.
We're good. Climate change ain't touching us out here. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Whatever.
eventually.
But yeah, yo, thank you for stopping by today, yo. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate your time. But yeah, I just wanted you to come by, not only because we had a shit shoot the other day when you were there, but I just wanted you to meet Tommy, Justin, and then Niina as well, just so that you could just see the whole team, see how everybody is. If you wanted to even connect with any of these guys, then,
For sure.
they're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, again, we're all trying to do the same type of thing. You know what I mean? Trying to collaborate. We're trying to bring the city together. We're trying to pull up artists in our city, and not only just our city, but all over the world. And yeah, yo, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. You guys are really dope.
Thanks, man.
It's the greatest podcast. Only podcast where we can talk about porn and then the meaning of life in under
Like
30
following
minutes.
that. That's hilarious. Yeah. Appreciate it, yo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How's that? What's that called?
The Grolsch.
The Grolsch. How's a Grolsch?
I've been lacking. Just
Oh, yeah.
So much talking.
Zach's
I'm doing a
almost
lot of
done.
talking.
Zach might as well just
So
chug
Zach's
that.
sitting there
Yeah.
fucking.
Might as well
Look
just
at Kevin, yo.
I know I wasn't gonna finish.
You
it.
feeling kind of tipsy?
Yo, Kevin, I'm actually surprised still, yo. You're
Yeah.
meant to be in between. Like, I thought
Yeah.
you'd be in between. Like,
Yeah.
I
I'm
thought I had
surprised.
the least done.
Sipping. It is a Wednesday.
we should do that, yo. We should have
But-
a chug.
But yeah, everyone in the room's gone. It's kind of just us four now.
Yeah,
But,
thanks to the guests. We had Tommy and Justin from because I was gonna say Justin from East
York's finest.
but I'm like, wait, that makes no sense.
You guys know him. He was on episode five.
I think.
Five. Yeah.
Yeah, we had Tommy Banks from R&B Radar here, and also Justin, East York's finest here. as well. They were gonna be on, but just time. Other interviews were good. They had to go. They have lives. So, anyways, thank you for everybody that came by today for our special episode 10, 11
It was a very good episode.
celebration. Yeah, very solid episode. I feel like we went over a nice amount of topics with the people that we talked to. We got to learn more about just like,
Both of those guys, yeah.
both of those guys that we had in. So thanks again, Niina and Ashton, for stopping by. Because we never officially met them yet, but we've been talking for months.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it was cool to finally meet everybody today.
I think an interesting thing that's coming with the more guests that we get is like how we talk about the Toronto arts community and like how we realize that it's like it's always been cliquey, but then people we're bringing in they acknowledge the same things.
They have the
and
same opinions.
They're doing things the same way that everything that we do is fueled by like trying to get out of that cliquey mentality, and like people around the city are doing the same. I think because we finally had enough time to separate it and be like, okay, yeah, this is what used to work. You had just OVO, and then you had like the little groups that were coming up, but then now finally we got to the point where we realized like, okay, we can calm down. Like we have enough talent here to do it on our own,
We can do this.
Yeah. We don't have to like look to other people now because people are looking inward, so we can actually like try to help each other out now.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that.
It's good to see
Yeah.
these people exist.
Yeah.
Like-minded individuals.
Like-minded individuals. That's
And
what's
at the end of the day, like we're not going to take credit for it, but when you see all the podcasts that we're going to be doing, I'm sure if somebody else wants to say that it was all us,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe I'll make a couple burner accounts and say it. I don't know.
Couple burners.
We started all this. I don't know. Whatever.
This is the Lost in
No, I
Talks
feel like
podcast. The
I
most
feel like
lit.
I know it was good hearing from Ashton even saying like, yeah, he's met some other people that are just down,
Yeah.
so just
Yeah.
work and collaborate. So that's cool to see. You know what I mean? So the movement is happening. Not everybody, but people in the city are starting to understand. There's a new wave coming through. And we need to start working together to
Yeah,
make sure
it's,
that
it's not a
all get to where we
competition,
need to get.
like
Exactly.
No.
somebody else's up is always, it's just going to help you if you figure out how,
Exactly.
know?
Exactly. Figure out what your weaknesses are. Somebody, might be able to
Yeah.
help you out and, make sure that you look even better now.
Yeah.
And
also, like, why would you want to come up by yourself and all your mans are struggling?
that's what I've always
I
said.
never, I don't,
like,
I never
always-
get that.
I'm down to be rich, but I can't be the only man
Yeah.
that's rich.
You gotta
Yeah.
share the wealth. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
need everybody to be rich so that we can all buy up the whole block. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
That's why, like, they
It's
criticize like basketball players when they, they go broke because they spent all their money on their whole neighborhood and their
Exactly.
entourage and stuff. But it's like they weren't trying to just spend. They first of all, it wasn't just their dream. Like
it was everybody's dream.
Yeah.
It was their parents' dream.
Yeah.
Their friends' dream.
it was probably like wherever community they came from. It was that whole
the
community's
whole
dream.
community's
Like
dream. They're like, yeah, he's gonna be a ball player.
Yeah.
we're waiting for him to.
so
yeah.
that whole time when they were growing up, all at the same level. It wasn't like that one person who made it was like, once I'm eating, that's it. Like no, it's like everybody's eating.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how we are, yo.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna eat, yo. Every man's
Even the
gonna
people who don't deserve it, the ones
Yeah.
who aren't putting in work right now. I
eat.
know
Mans
that.
aren't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you.
It might get-
I seen you.
I see you.
Mans that aren't putting in work, but you're gonna eat. Don't worry.
It might
yo.
swing you some. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I'm not gonna do it intentionally. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Nah. Yeah.
But whatever, yo. You'll get to eat a little bit too. You'll know what it's like, and then maybe one day you'll get jealous of me and kill me. But hey, it is what it is. You know what I
Whoa.
mean? Like,
Chill.
that's what happens, though.
Yeah.
Because again, like a lot of the times, your
Shit,
biggest haters
bro.
are the mans that
Kind of what happened
are,
to
were
Nipsey.
right there,
That's kind of fucked.
bro. And it's not even even
That's-
him. It's
yeah,
not even just
That's
him.
just an example.
There's
though.
just so many people.
Yeah.
You know. Soon,
Jeez.
Ian's gonna have it strapped to Kevin's sash, bro. Talking about what the fuck, yo.
As long as it's on the podcast.
Yeah, we got this right here, eh?
Yeah.
So when the man switches. But yeah, yo, thanks to those guys. Shouts out those guys. Shouts out Neutral. Shouts out
Nah.
Rolls.
Chill. Lost Craft.
Lost Craft. Honestly, yo, come on.
No, I had to try something different to compare. Well, first I'm comparing
No,
beer.
not
I'm
even
comparing
just-
beer to
not
vodka.
Well, first of all, there wasn't any Last Craft in
Thank
the
you.
LCBO, right?
And that's the problem.
Yeah,
I don't know if
see.
it's selling out, But since
It's
the last
either-
time we bought the Lost Craft at the LCBO that we went to, there hasn't been any more
There's
Lost
no
Craft.
Lost Craft there.
So I don't know what the issue is. I don't
They haven't
know.
bought it anymore.
I don't know if it's LCBO. I don't know if it's
I mean,
Lost.
LCBO has been always trash on the stocking lately.
Really?
It's been a thing.
Damn.
It's been a thing.
They got all these
More in the
seasonal
summer,
stuff
though,
right
but I
now,
don't know about now.
Not doing shit with them. Fuck them.
It's great.
Anyways, yeah. Oh,
What?
I figured it out.
Hurry.
I wanted our people, the listeners, to take home those questions as well that I asked.
Okay, yeah.
Or the question. Or the questions. So we'll say this. Let me say with a clear voice, nice and deep, so it sounds kind of cool. I forgot the question.
You always sound cool. It's all good.
Are you what you need to be? Okay, no. I was too close to the mic. That might have been.
Yeah, chill.
Are you what you need to be when you need to be it? And also, just sometimes think about the importance in mastering your weaknesses. Those are the lessons of the day. Take that home. Think about it. Meditate. Smoke. Drink. Hang out with friends. Or be alone. But just think about it.
Look up some OnlyFans.
Yeah.
OnlyFans, yeah.
Look up some OnlyFans. Get
Yeah.
the numbers on the
Support-
OnlyFans.
Some support, yeah.
Support your
Fuck.
coworker who
Support.
might
So-
have an OnlyFans.
I'm just trying to.
It's only $5. It's
Support.
only $5 a month. Come on, man.
$5.
That's it, man.
I'm honestly saying
It's like a
if
Starbucks coffee.
If
Come
it's
on.
more than a $10 a month, I'm like, okay.
That's Netflix. You're
That's
like,
Netflix.
That's
I
okay.
don't know.
That's Netflix,
You gotta
Disney
be
Plus.
really jumping on fire. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if I can support this.
you
for
gotta
more
be
than
putting up
$10.
thousands of hours of content for.
That's what I'm saying.
Because that's what you're getting. That's what
That's
you're
what
getting.
you're getting from
I
Netflix.
don't
Yeah.
care who the fuck you think you are. Okay, because I'm getting Netflix and I'm getting lots of content.
Yeah. Even if they're slacking.
Even if they're slacking,
Yeah, they're still,
they're still putting out the stuff. Even if I don't want to see it, I got it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Like, support your mans out there. Support everybody. Collaborate. Make sure you're bringing people together. Just keep the positive vibes going, man. That was the lesson for today.
Yeah.
I feel like we touched on a lot of important little things, and we got to learn a lot about different people. And that's why, this episode was destined to be special. You know? And that's why we are destined to be special. And this podcast, the most lit podcast in the art community. Thank you for listening. Good night.
Good night.